What's up guys, my name's Tamer.
I'm Naomi.
Today we're going to go over the 6 techniques we think everyone should learn for self-defense.
Hammer fists are a great weapon because they're multifaceted. They work from multiple angles and they're also very primal, right? So when I'm sending a hammer fist, I'm hitting with the bottom part of my fist, right below my pinky. But I'm squeezing my fist nice and tight to contract this muscle. And that's what I'm striking with. When I send a hammer fist, I drive my elbow up and rotate my hips and shoulders back. My hand stays in front of my face and my pinky side twists high. From there, I rotate my hips and shoulders forward, allow that elbow to travel back down, and then I stab straight out. It's like I have a fork in my hand and a big juicy steak that I just want to dig straight into, right? It's a whipping motion here with that hand, but it's very primal, right? So if you think of like babies throwing temper tantrums, they drive their hands down and smack down. If you see gorillas, right, they do those types of motions. It's the same thing here with a hammer fist to the front, and then you have hammer fists to the side and behind as well, and downwards, so you have multiple ranges and angles that you can use a hammer fist in.
So, covering up. When we cover up, we're trying to block the most amount of punches from the most different angles. It's probably the most adaptable defense we can do. Essentially, guys, you're going to take both your hands and cup the top of your skull, and then you can kind of maneuver depending on what punches are coming at you. If they're straight punches, you can bring your elbows in front of you to absorb a lot of that impact. And if they start swinging for haymaker punches or hooks, if they have some training, you can also adapt and come to the side of your head and kind of move that turtle shell of a cover around your head as the situation changes. But don't stay here for too long. Remember, we have to fire back, otherwise we're going to sit here and take a beating forever.
When I send a front kick or a rising front kick or a regular front kick, I'm mostly aiming for groin, but it's actually any horizontal surface, right? So if a face is bent over, you can kick the face. I hit with my shin bone, and I want to take my shin bone and slice all the way through whatever my target is. So I don't aim for the target itself, I aim past the target. So the first motion is to get your knee and your hips forward. I want my knee to go above the target. So if I'm hitting the groin, I want my knee to go above the hip level. Once my knee is up past that and my hips are forward, I'm going to extend my leg through, like I'm unsheathing my shin bone, right? So it's my knee and my hips first, and then once my knee and my hips go, my shin bone comes up and through. I point my toes out of the way. It's the same thing if it's a bent over face, right? I want my knee to go up and past the head, and then I unleash that shin bone into their face, so I'm aiming higher. When I do a groin kick, I'm always thinking about I'm actually aiming for their head, but everything else gets in the way.
So the sprawl, or defending a takedown. Guys, with jiu-jitsu being so popular, even bad guys know how to do a basic takedown. They've watched enough UFC, they've seen enough fights on TV. They kind of get the idea. You drop your level, you shoot in, and you try and grab the legs to get the person to the ground. So our job doing the sprawl is we need to stop them from grabbing our legs. So step number 1 is shoot your legs back. As you shoot your legs back, you're gonna make a frame on their shoulders, collarbone, anywhere on their body. Even a crossface is something we can get a little more advanced into, but just basically drop your weight into them and drop your hips to the ground. What that's going to do, guys, is going to stop their reach for your legs, and it's going to stop a lot of the momentum they have in this takedown. Remember, we're much safer standing up than we are on the ground, especially in a multiple attacker situation. You don't want to be on the ground. Your head's going to be bouncing off the concrete, and it's going to be really hard to defend yourself. So sprawl and stay standing up. Have you ever been in a situation where someone's tried to take you down? Comment down below.
If you've been knocked down to the ground, there's a couple important things that you need to note. One, when I am in a ground fighting stance and someone else is still standing in front of me or threatening me, I want to have my feet in between my head and my attacker. So my biggest objective is always to keep my vital organs, right, my head away from this person. So I'm always going to try to move in a way that keeps my feet towards that person, so I have kicks, right? When I'm on the ground, I keep my head and shoulders off the ground. I still keep my hands up in front of my face. I keep one foot always up, chambered, ready to kick, and then another foot close to my butt to be able to move. The least amount of body mass that you have on the ground, the easier it will be to move so that you can track that person, right? So I can track them left to right. If they're trying to move back and forth, I can track them with my feet so that when they do come close, I can kick them before they can potentially get on top of me, kick me in the head, things like that. Another important thing to note with fighting on the ground is you do have several different kicks. One good kick is just a regular front kick or a defensive front kick from the ground. When I do a defensive front kick on the ground, I make sure my hips get engaged by driving my hips off the ground, and I stomp the heel of my foot forward into whatever kind of I can hit, right? So if it's lower, I can aim for the knees, groin. If they're maybe bent over, I can hit for body, sometimes face, depending on where their positioning is, but the better off, the more you can keep those feet engaged in the fight, the easier off it'll be for you to make some more space so that you can then get up onto your feet.
So getting up off the ground. Just in case you were late on your sprawl, you might end up on the ground. If you've watched the previous segment, you're going to know how to fight off the ground and hopefully create some space so you can use this technique. The first step, guys, is we want to make sure this person is away from us. So make sure you kick, create some space, and then we're going to start to create our 2 points of contact on the ground. Remember, it's going to be opposite. So if my left leg is on the ground, my right hand is going to post. I'm going to lift my entire hips and body up off the ground. I'm going to shoot my straight leg or my free leg that's floating behind me and try and create as much space as I jump back into a good fight stance. Remember, as you do this, you have to get your hands up ready to go because the person who's been attacking you is probably not done yet.
Is there a technique you think we missed that you think everybody should know to start out? Put it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you got something out of this video. If you want to see more of these, click down below to like, subscribe, and push that little alert button so that all of our videos will pop right up on your feed when you open up YouTube. Shout us out if you need anything else. Stay safe out there.